This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
2 years of suffering. And where are we? The Suffering Podcast has rebranded the word suffering by showing that there is an essential part of healing and happiness that must be experienced to have any perspective and appreciation for the achievements that are made in your life. Hosted by 2 retired police officers forced to end their career early due to traumatic events, they have experienced the darkness and despair that suffering can force you into, ultimately re-emerging from the darkness to highlight what they have learned on their path, entering into a new life of service. We offer the opportunity each week to highlight stories of suffering, with the hope of giving the audience the tools that are needed to overcome adversity. Beginning in the basement, on a meager knowledge base and resources, with a little bit of luck and determination, we've endured with a commitment to continuing the message of suffering into success due to our deep-seated belief its value in the modern world. So now, it's time to celebrate. I'm Kevin Donaldson here with Mike Failace and on this very special episode of the Suffering Podcast, live from the Grande Saloon in Clifton, New Jersey. We're here to celebrate our 2-year anniversary.
It's an anniversary episode for us. I mean, that's crazy.
This is our second time we've done this.
We didn't do a first anniversary episode, though, did we?
No, we ran this like small commercial for the end of season 1, and it was right around our first anniversary. But, you know, we needed a little bit of a break. So this is our ending of season 2.
Yeah.
So not only is it our second anniversary, Grande Saloon, these 2 episodes, hopefully we'll do 2 episodes.
I'm sure we got a lot of people that came in to see us already. So.
Yeah, and it's early. It's early. So these episodes are going to be our end of season 2. Season 3 is off the charts, and it's ramping up to be even better than we thought.
Season 3, we're starting off with a fighting chance.
Yeah. Well, I think the first episode is going to be a knockout.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. We did all our normal stuff.
I almost did get knocked out.
Wait till you see this one.
Yeah.
It gets a little tense in the studio. But we got a lot of former guests coming in already.
Yeah.
Some people we haven't seen, we've spoken to here and there.
And people we haven't seen since they've been on. I mean, there's a couple, we see Eric a lot, we see Tara and, Pamela a lot, but I haven't seen Mark, Nick, and Ashley.
We got a blast from the past with Dan Hardwick coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I haven't seen Dan, because Dan and I used to work in the same place, and he left, and I haven't seen him since then. We've talked here and there and stuff like that. But so stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff in store tonight. We're going to be here all night. We're going to be doing some recordings. We're going to be rubbing elbows with people. We got a lot of people coming still. So we got a lot in store for you tonight. Stay tuned.
Sit your ass down.
And we're sitting here with a very, very early podcast.
Pre-mic podcast.
Pre-mic podcast. We're sitting here with Dan Hardwick, one of my better friends, who was kind enough to help out a humble new podcaster. I said...
that says a lot about him if he's been a friend for a long time now.
Dan and I met, a few years ago, and we just sort of clicked, because we have a lot of the same interests. He's into fitness. He likes men, too, just like me. Just like me.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
There's plenty here for that.
So when I approached you about doing this show, walk me through what was going on up here.
Yeah.
Please be honest. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Absolutely, no. I know you got tough skin.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was really cool because we were introduced through our mutual friend Liz Morella, who was actually the wellness coach at our where we worked, and she introduced me to you, kind of saying exactly what you said. Hey, you have similar interests as this guy. You think the same way. So I was very interested to meet you and kind of hear what you had to say. And then you talked to me about the podcast.
What's up,
I said, it sounds like it could be an interesting, opportunity. I've never been on a podcast, so let's see what it's all about. And it's just talking to a guy and changing ideas.
It's 2 friends sitting around, 3 friends now sitting around the table talking. That's really all it comes down to. Bearing your soul.
I always envisioned, like, when I ask guests, they're like, okay, my friend will do it. He's my friend. I guess I'll do it. Do nothing in the basement. Because back then, we did it in a basement.
Yeah.
And
You guys
Before
did
the
it.
studio.
You guys did it in the basement. You guys do like guys, don't you?
yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
For the content.
So there's a funny story about Dan. So when my first co-host, the one that I started it with, I was getting these feelings that he was just going to check out. He was going to bounce out. And I approached Dan. I was like, hey, Dan, would you be interested in coming in here and there occasionally? Because having a co-host, it's not essential, but it makes life a hell of a lot easier. So you were one of the first people I let that out to. You were the only person I let that out to, and sure as shit, it certainly happened.
Yep.
But then you come in for your episode about millennials, and I learned a lot from that because I had this view about Dan's a millennial, and I had this view about millennials. They're lazy, they're good for nothing, they're entitled, all that stuff.
Complain about everything.
Right.
Well, really, then this is, I think, the third time he's been here, right? Didn't he come out? You came to Hackensack Brewing, right?
Hackensack Brewing.
Hackensack Brewing
Yeah.
Company.
So
That might be the first time we've had someone on 3 times.
all right, you're our first triple
Look at
play.
There we go.
See, that's what millennials aren't all that bad. Then.
We can talk when we want to.
But you know what it is? It is you always look, and we've said this before, where you look at the lowest common denominator of everything.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, our views of millennials, it's always the lowest common denominator. And Dan proved that wrong because Dan's an extremely hard worker. He's very intelligent. He's not entitled. He's willing to work for everything he got. You did that challenge not that long ago, the Murphy challenge.
No, the Goggins one.
Did you do the Goggins or
I
the
did
Murphy?
the dummy down Goggins.
Yeah.
I didn't do the Murph, but yeah, I did the full.
If he wasn't a millennial, he would have done the full one.
Yeah,
Dummy down,
I
right?
did the
Millennials are
I
lazy.
cheated, I wasn't ready to do the 48 miles in 48 hours, but I did 30 miles in 30 hours, I think.
God bless.
Yeah, you and your buddy did it, right?
Yeah. We raised I think we raised like a couple $1,000s for cancer. So
Yeah.
It was
Nice.
sweet. It was cool.
You've seen us from the beginning. Like, you've seen things change drastically. What do you think the biggest change in this show has been, besides this guy?
I mean,
And cameras.
Cameras,
yeah, I mean, now you guys got a studio, you got cameras here, there's mic checks going on. It's
We got a producer.
It's a little different than when I was there in Kevin's basement for sure.
It was all right.
Even
We're
at
on.
Hackensack Brewing.
Yeah.
We had the tent blowing over that night. We had people holding down a tent.
Exactly, you guys have come a long way, but
Now we're actually indoors doing it.
exactly. But I think that the premises remain the same, which is what I respect about you guys. It's at the end of the day, you're doing it not to get views and all stuff. It's to help people,
and we're not conforming.
Correct.
We don't conform to anything. We stick to our values and our laurels, and we roll with it.
It's a pretty evergreen concept. That's the thing with it. It's an evergreen concept.
Well, it's a visceral word.
We will never ever run out of material.
No.
And we've proven that. Back long ago when we were recording just on audio, we would get short on guests. We're like, oh man, who do we got now? Like, who can we ask? And we just would rack our brains on who to ask. It's changed now where people will come to us, which is a little bit more comforting.
And former guests are getting us new guests.
Right, and there's a part of me that misses the old way of doing it. Yeah, the old way of doing it. You appreciated it. You got somebody in there, and it was you were so thankful. And it's not that I'm not thankful for having people come in now, but it's just different. That's all I can tell you.
And then we branched off into Hoboken.
Oh, Hoboken.
And we got.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of the Hobokenites just walked in.
Yeah.
He's sitting there at the bar playing with his.
I just heard the alarms go off when he walked in, so I figured a Hoboken guy.
I'll tell you the thing about Hoboken people; they are true survivors. But Dan, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being with us from the beginning. We don't connect as much as we used to, but we still reach out and stuff like that. And you're one of that thing that happened the other week. You're one of the first people that I sent that to.
I'm always here to support you guys, and I wish I could have been the co-host that you were looking for. But honestly, I know that it worked out better.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
You guys got a good dynamic. I know you guys bring each other a lot, but you guys have a good dynamic. And what Mike brings is, what I could not. I don't have the experience that you have.
It's time. Believe it or not, it's time.
It is. And
it's the stupidity that you don't have. You're smart. I'm
I
not.
don't have the life experience that you guys have. What you guys have, created here is really, really something special.
Well, you'll get there one day.
Yeah, and I try to look to guys like you to learn from, and hopefully you guys sharing your story is helpful to people my age, younger, whatever, because hopefully we won't have to, learn the mistakes or learn the lessons the way you guys did.
Yeah.
We can learn from you guys rather than having to experience it ourselves. So
You guys are going to make all different mistakes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we teach the next generation the same.
Sounds to me like he's trying to start his own podcast and he's feeding off us now.
That's the millennial
off our
suffering
mistakes.
podcast. That's what it is.
He's goading us along. I'm not going to learn from your mistakes.
No, you're gonna be like a spinoff. You're like Frasier, who's a spinoff of Cheers.
That's it.
You know,
You guys
but
coach me through it.
Dan, I really appreciate you coming in. Thanks so much. You've always supported us, and we'll always have you around.
Yeah, absolutely. You're part of the family. We tell everybody that. Once you're in, you're in.
Yes, I appreciate it.
All right, we're gonna be right back with a couple people who I'm actually surprised so many people came.
Yeah.
And we're going to come right back, and you're not going to believe who's here. And welcome back. We
Once
have one of our audio guests.
Yeah,
in
a
a
long
very
time ago.
special person to us who is family. We've protected her.
And brought in her family.
We've actually gotten a lot of flack from recording you and your brother.
Yeah.
And your brother. I'm going to tell you a short story about that, but let's welcome Ashley Turi to come back. Ashley, when I reached out to you and we had a mutual connection. I know Eric. Through Eric.
Yeah,
that's
Eric,
right.
yeah.
I'm thinking it was your brother then you, or
No.
then you. No, it's you then your brother, and two guys ask you to come in on our podcast and. We had a short conversation, like what's off limits, what's good, what's not good. What were your feelings about that?
I was a little nervous at first when I first got asked, but you guys made it very comfortable. When I started talking to you on the phone, you just made it sound so easy and carefree that I was like, what the hell?
And it really is. I mean, it's like I said, it's just like three friends sitting around a table.
Yeah.
You forget the microphones are even there, although we have to hold them now so you don't forget.
Yeah, I know. But
Someone didn't come prepared.
the subject matter of your show can be tense to certain people.
Yeah.
And
confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing. We were
Unless
asking
you don't know,
We saw the smoke by now.
we were asking you questions that I know other people have had the same questions to you. But when I spoke to you for a couple minutes, I'm like, I'm not doing it to offend you. I'm doing it because I don't know and I want to learn. Ashley has gone through a transition. All right. Have you gone any further?
No, I haven't gotten any further with physical transition. I'm very comfortable with where I am right now.
So the plumbing's still there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
We talked about that. You can't unring that bell when that's done. I strongly suggest you do not. You're fine the way you are.
As long as you're enjoying yourself, that's all that matters.
When you came on there, was it what you expected?
It was, like he said, it was a lot more friends talking.
Mm-hmm.
It went a lot easier than I expected.
Yeah,
But,
your recording went long too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a lot to talk
We had a lot of
about.
questions.
There was a lot to talk about. Well,
You're the one that asked her about the duct tape.
Mike's looking to move into that
Genre.
that transition as well. So he's more educational purposes.
You might want to grow some hair first.
I can't. That's what they make wigs for.
There's always wigs. So
There's some beautiful bald women out there.
the feedback on your episode was tough because once you come into our show, we protect you. You're our family. And we know you, we know who you are, we know what's in your heart. So when somebody comes in and tries to attack you, we take it as a personal attack against us. How can you bring somebody like that on there? Because that's what makes the world go round.
Yeah. Well, you got closed-minded people who they don't think outside the box.
There was that one guy.
Yeah.
The one guy on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Instagram or Facebook.
He was all over us. Oh, you guys are doing great work, and we had you on. And he's like, I can't believe you support that. I'll never listen to your show again. I'm like, that's fine, man.
Goodbye.
That's fine.
Saw that one.
Yeah, that's fine. No worries in the world to me.
So we lost one.
We lost one, but we've gained.
Hey, listen,
we gained
that's not the people we want anyway.
Exactly. We talk to people from all different walks of life, and that's where we want to keep it. So after you were on our show, the people who were close to you, who listened to the show, what'd they think?
They loved it.
Yeah.
They learned a few new things that they didn't know before. But yeah, I got very positive feedback.
Did you talk to like a lot of people in the trans community? Did anybody give you any feedback? Any good, bad, indifferent?
Most of them enjoyed it. There was a little bit of backlash because some people say, how do you share that? And like, that's not our job to teach people, but those are the people that are never going to learn, and that's not how we want to be.
It's not like we're trying to teach people. We're just letting them know. You know, you're going to be setting your ideals, and they're going to be setting their ideals, as you say. And listen, I learned a lot from that. I learned a hell of a lot from that.
I really enjoyed the discussion we had on transgender going into athletics. Specifically, I enjoyed that because our views differ. All right, and that's okay. All right, you have your view, I have my view, but we can sit here and talk it out. And I'm not angry at you for having your view, nor hopefully you're not angry with me for having my view. It's just the way that it is. But that's, again, that solid discussion. And hopefully, through that discussion, we'll be able to meet in the middle and hammer out some of the details.
That's the problem with the world today. Nobody wants to meet in the middle. Everybody has their agenda, and one side has their agenda, the other side has their agenda, and nobody wants to meet in the middle.
So how's the career as an EMT going?
Going well. In school now for theater, changing my course, but
Theater?
yes.
You're not going to start a podcast, are you? Because it is all theater.
She's going to broadcasting school.
I'm behind the scenes, lighting,
okay.
sound, tech.
Well, pretty soon A&J Media, we are growing, so he is going to need somebody in that studio.
She could intern for us.
That's it. We'll give you intern credits. That's it.
Right, Drew, you need an intern?
I do need them for senior year.
A&J is always given. It's non-paid though. I have
So is a podcast. Don't worry about it.
Well, Ashley, we always appreciate you. You're part of our family, and you need anything, you let us know.
You know, we'll include you in anything we do.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. We got some great guests coming up.
Sit your ass down.
And we are back with yet another former guests. Guests.
Plural.
Yes, and somebody who's very special to us, who's been a big supporter of ours along the way. Obviously, we connected through your sister, Ashley. But you, when Ashley described her family life, I'm like, I got to talk to you. I got to talk to you, brother.
Yeah, well, we came on to talk about Ashley, but we never even talked about Ashley.
Yeah,
It went a whole different direction.
Yeah,
Well, that was because of Nick. Nick took that thing in a whole different direction.
Well, you're a fireman, right? So there's certain aspects of your life as a fireman that we wanted to talk about, but you also are gay, and you're betrayed. I have a hard time. I'm not going to say fiance because that's really gay. And Nick has constantly tried to make me blush throughout this whole experience.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's going to win tonight.
I don't know.
He's got that look. He's got that look in his eye. Did you put smell good on or something today?
I got to put a little bit behind my ears and sort of draw pheromones. It draws them in. So, Mark, your sister obviously had a positive experience on our show.
Yeah.
All right, and there are sufferings that you have gone through throughout your life that we wanted to come in and bring you on. But you were different than your sister in one respect, that you came on camera. Your sister was just...
She was previous season.
Yeah, she was just audio. That was before we got Andrew, before we got hooked up with A&J Media. What did you think when you got asked? Because we had some phone conversations.
I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the first things they asked my sister was, did you vet these guys? And she's like, yeah, they're great. They're law enforcement. They fit into our first responder family. And we talked to Ashley about it, talked to Nick about it, and we're like, all right, let's give it a shot.
Well, what did you think, Nick, when you found out your potential husband?
Fiance.
No, it's not fiance. It's potential husband. Potential death trap over here. What did you think when he was asked on our show? Like, were you protective of him? Would you say this is not a good idea?
It didn't bother me at all. He could have done it.
Yeah.
And Nick was right there by his side the whole time.
Right, but I imagine there's part of both of you that you're kind of airing stuff, your personal life that you might not want out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's stuff you keep inside a long time, most of your life until you have an option to let it out.
But you're confident. You're confident in your decisions. You're confident in your life, and that's a great thing.
It felt good to talk about it.
I mean, it's not the first time you openly came out, but how did it feel to actually be on air and talk about it?
Oh, first time on a camera saying it and being open about it. It's like it's weight lifted off of you.
Right? What was the reaction like to those your family and friends that
family loved it. Friends had a bunch of friends followed it actually, and they follow your podcast still today.
Oh, cool.
That's where all the followers
Yeah,
come from.
exactly.
Yeah, there was definitely a couple first responders that jumped on that podcast.
Yeah. There's a whole collection of them right, 4 blocks north of Route 4. Right, that's,
North of 4, man. I'm west of 17 though.
there you go.
So you're in the ghetto of Bergen County, is what you're telling me.
East of Patterson, and north of
right by
Garfield.
Elmwood Park, all in that area. We're not going to tell exactly where. I mean, if you want to,
We're in the nice corner.
if you want to give out your address, you can. But we'll just give you areas of where you live.
But you guys are so gracious to us. You jump on every Instagram live. You're always there to support us when we call out, hey, we're having an event. I was so happy to hear you guys were coming.
And they jump on the brake chops constantly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That's why they fit in
That's what it's
perfectly
all
with
about.
us.
You know, that's what family's all about.
Speaking of chops, it's Christmas, isn't it?
It is Christmas. It is Christmas.
We got you guys a gift.
Oh, look at this. I'm so scared. Let's put it down.
Kev, you open that. No, put it over on that side. No, so it's got to be on the camera. The camera's not over there. Kev, you open that.
There is one for each of you.
If that thing bites,
If this thing is made of latex.
So, this is for Mike.
Oh, boy.
We know you struggled.
Is it a wig?
No, that's for Mike. Kevin, yours is in the bottom of this bag.
Is it going to bite me?
No. Maybe.
Is it this?
Yeah,
No.
it's the only thing in the bag.
Oh, very nice.
Sam here.
Nice. Meat in a can just for me, from my friends.
Don't get botulism, all right?
I struggle with the Spanish numbers.
There you go. And
tell you
Mike's
what.
got an issue with numbers over here.
Where's your old man? What's this?
Spanish numbering.
You want me to go to that?
Where's your old man? Because me and your old man are going to bond over Spam. Because I guarantee when he was younger, this is what he ate.
Matt, too.
The best stuff on earth is right here. Spam goes with everything. Are you guys fans of Spam?
I like Spam. He's vegetarian. Nasty.
You're No, it's not. There's no meat.
There's
here.
no meat in that. There's no meat in Spam. Come on.
Looks disgusting.
That's disgusting.
If I could get my
Open it up
8-year-old,
and
when my
taste it.
son was 8, I started giving him Spam. If I can get an 8-year-old to eat that, trust me, it's so good. I appreciate it, guys. I really, really do.
Yeah. So this one was hard to get.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Here we go.
Oh boy. Oh. This is a gift card to Frank's Hot Corner.
It's not.
Oh, it's a gift card, all right.
It's a-
my house.
It's a keys
You
to
better
his
read the
house.
front. There you go.
Oh, you know what? I am going to carry this with pride. Believe it or not. So,
They were
Mark,
not easy to get.
Mark and Nick, and I want your dad to see this because he's standing right off to the left. Mark and Nick just got us
proud
LGBTQ lifetime membership cards. That's great. That is fantastic.
Hey, could you
with my name on it?
I have to renew my license. Can I use this as one of the points for my license?
If they don't accept it, you can cry discrimination.
Yeah.
You know
That
what
is
though?
great.
I'm very proud. In all seriousness, I'm very proud to call both of you my friends. And
Absolutely.
It's got absolutely
Family.
nothing to do with
You guys are
your
definitely
sexuality. I support every decision that you make, because what you make as a decision is for you and you alone. Nobody has to like it. Nobody has to accept it. But if they say anything
Well,
bad to you, that's where I step in.
But you know what, Kev? I mean, look on the card. It says "keep it up." I mean, that could mean a couple different things.
We're giving the
I can't read it.
Thank you for your support. Keep it up.
I love it, guys.
Podcast, buddy. Keep up the
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Okay,
I
I've been trying to
absolutely
keep
love
it up.
it.
But I'm 56.
So I'm going to get a nice picture of the camera on that one. Straight ally. That is wonderful.
We are
Like that-
we're lifetime members.
This is going to be my best Christmas gift I ever got.
Proud to be a straight. It says on it, for people that didn't see it, it says lifetime membership. Proud to be a straight ally.
I'm gonna tell you-
LGBT
I'm going to tell
community.
you what, it's going in my wallet right now.
All right, I'll trade you for the PVA card.
So if I ever say something stupid on air, I'm like, don't worry. I'm good.
lifetime member.
I'm a lifetime
Card carrying.
Card
I'm a
carrying.
lifetime member. No, it's actually going right in my wallet.
You got a SD
Thank
card.
you,
There
guys.
go.
From bottom of my heart, thank you,
Oh,
guys.
thank you for all you do
Yeah.
and the support you give us.
From
I
his
love you both.
From his bottom. From his bottom to yours.
I'll get that later.
I love you both. I really do.
We love you
And-
guys back.
It's always great
listen,
seeing you guys, man.
I
Thanks
want
for
you
all
guys
the support.
here when we do our next season 3.
Hopefully, yeah. a year
Except
from now.
except hopefully we'll be big enough where we'll be able to fly everybody out to Vegas.
Well, we always talked about Aruba, right?
Aruba would be nice.
Yeah,
we could do a
we
remote
always said
podcast
when we
from
got
Aruba.
big, we're
Drew,
gonna-
you set up for that? A remote from Aruba.
I can do it.
All right, we're good.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything's completely possible.
Thank you guys so much, and we're going to be back with yet another great or interesting guest. You never know which one it's going to be.
Sit your ass down.
And we are back. We had some people come and travel to us. I believe this guest here traveled a little further than most.
They get the longest travel.
And of course, we're talking about our very good friend, Professor Theresa Agonstinelli. It took me a long time.
He was
The whole way up here, I'm saying
all day.
Agonstinelli. No, actually, Prof T and I, we speak more often now because we see each other on Clubhouse all the time. We talk with each other. We talk to each other on the phone about our very good friend Charlie Cifarelli, who has some health issues that we're wishing him the best on. And so you got that call. We made that connection through Charlie. You got that call to come on the show. I want to hear what was going on in your head.
So yeah, when I got the call from you to come onto the show, I was so excited because it's one of my passions. And when I did a little bit of research and you told me a little bit about what you're doing, I couldn't wait. And my son's a police officer, so to me it was just so exciting to, first of all, hear your stories and to be able to put a little bit of perspective on, first of all, the mother of a police officer and somebody who works in the mental health and wellness field with first responders.
And your book, The Grid System, so there's a lot of different facets to your story that fit in really well with our concept.
When you realized you were coming on and you did your research on us, I'm sure you weren't that excited to come on after that. You figured you'd just say, screw it, I'll go do it. These two knuckleheads.
What the heck?
No, I felt like I was visiting family.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's really like a family or friend atmosphere here. It's just people sitting around and telling stories.
Your book is on our table.
Yes, it is.
When space allows it. Lately, we've had many people in there. We couldn't put much up there, but your book sits on our table, and because we're collecting authors.
Yeah, we're getting like a library. And the biggest book we have is the Hoboken Dictionary.
And from our show.
Dictionary.
Yeah, there's three words in it. These, those, and that.
Yeah. It's 3 words, but they call it 2. So, yeah, it fits right in. So, you've been on other shows since then. I know you've done some Zoom shows and things of that nature. Do you understand why we don't like the Zoom? I'm not knocking those shows because I know those shows you were on and they're friends of mine. But I need to sit across from you. I need to look in your eyes. I need to see what's going on inside your head.
And read body language.
I'm just going to say that. I feel the same way. You're the first and only live podcast show I've done, even though I'm considered international, right? Because I'm speaking globally now, but it's all from the other side of a computer screen because of COVID, obviously. But yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. Body language is key, eye contact. I just think there's
Especially
so
in your
much.
field, I'm sure it's easier to talk to people face to face than it is over Zoom.
Imagine it's essential.
Yeah, without doubt.
Imagine talking to Dr. Steph
Yeah, over the phone.
No. With his Newark accent, no. I can't do that.
Because you got to read Dr. Steph's lips once in a while because you don't understand what he's saying. He's a Newark guy, so you want to talk Hoboken Dictionary, Newark Dictionary.
Yeah, they're different books, but they're in the same library. So, what did you think versus the other shows that you did? I'm not knocking the other shows by any means, but did you see the difference when there's nothing like a live show?
There's nothing like a live show. And I've done radio shows pre-pandemic. I've done some local TV shows. Little rooms you're in, but you're still with somebody. You're talking face to face. So I do think that it lends itself to having a better interview and to be able to feel the person's vibe.
Did you do John Wiley's show? I know Dave, your son Dave did.
I did not do John Jay's show yet. No.
John, nice guy.
I actually met John Jay I was in a Clubhouse room with him, and I said, hey, my son is a police officer. He might be a good fit for your show. And come to find out, John Jay actually knew a police chief from my neck of the woods 30 years ago, and I connected those two.
There's a great story about John Wiley that happened in this bar.
Right here?
Right here.
Yeah.
Yes. So both of us have done John Wiley's show. We were supposed to meet him when we were down in Florida, but we got kind of tied up with flight plans and everything like that. But we're sitting here, and there's an older guy sitting at the bar. He's like, hey, I'm a retired cop. I retired from Baltimore PD. I'm like, oh, we're sitting there, do you know John Wiley? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I know him. Calls him right away, and we sat here, and he took a picture with us, sent it to him, and what a small world that we meet somebody that John used to work with in this bar, the Grande Saloon, where we're sitting right now. It's a small world.
Well, and talk about the small world. We just had a small world moment a couple minutes ago.
Prof T knows Wally Green.
Wally Green.
Yes.
That's amazing. She was sitting right next to him and didn't even know.
Wally's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
He is an amazing
Well,
guy.
name, and you said ping pong, and I put it together, and I knew I was in clubhouse rooms with Wally, and it was just, it's amazing.
I'm going to challenge Wally to a ping pong tournament tonight.
Okay.
Tonight.
You could use a tennis racket, and he'll use a guitar pick, and he'll beat you.
But he'll roll me for $1,000. He'll roll me for $1,000 first.
Yeah, without doubt.
So, where do you go from here? How's the book doing?
The book's doing great. It's on Amazon. So the book's going good. I'm getting great sales. I'm getting great reviews from it.
Getting some speaking engagements out of it as well.
And yeah, that's what I was going to say. So for 2023, I've already got some podcasts lined up. I've got people inviting me to come and speak at their company organization. So what I'm doing now is I'm using my book as a tool to help companies, businesses, organizations to tap into the emotional wellness programs. Because now more than ever, there's still a stigma with mental health.
Oh, without doubt.
I mean, you can't even say the word mental and health. So
There's going to be a stigma about mental health until someone goes through it. And then there was a stigma with me with mental health before, I had post-traumatic stress.
I would have been the first to tell you that they're faking it.
Yeah.
There's I would have been the first one to tell you. I'll be quite honest with you. But once you go through it, once you understand it, you're like, okay, I get it. But our job now your job included, is to open people's eyes.
I think, and I had a clubhouse room on the way up here because I had some time, and I called Julie Locum, and I said, hey, let's open a room. And the topic was mental health and wellness among men. And
That's a broad spectrum right there.
So we touched on a few different things, and with what happened with Twitch, and my brother took his own life, and working with veterans, first responders. It never ends.
Julie's going to come on the show soon. So Julie's a publicist she's on Clubhouse. I met her through there, and she's going to come on the show.
Yeah, we talk every day. So she's in Chicago. We're going to try to meet in Florida in between. Podfest.
Are you going Podfest?
I didn't plan to go, but let me see if I can just come and come and hang.
Yeah, well, we're going to be recording down there as well.
I heard a great conversation she was having with Wally before. She said she's done a ton of podcasts, but this one was her favorite.
I love it.
I heard her say it to Wally before.
I love it.
They were the cutest guys ever. The interview was fantastic, and
It was a lot of fun.
too.
It was
fun, and you get the word out. That's what we're all about. We go through some deep, dark stuff, and we interject some humor, and
you gotta have humor.
You taught me one of my new favorite words, and I was just going through this the other day. That's how I remember it. Therapize.
Okay, I'm glad it stuck with you.
As a matter of fact, the week before this will be a show about takeaways, and in there we do one of the takeaways from your show, and it was my new favorite word is therapize.
I thought you were going to say aqua dump.
Aqua dump is that's way up there. So Prof T, I really do appreciate you coming here. I really do come supporting
it's always
us.
a pleasure.
And your family.
Your family to
Your
us.
family.
Well, I couldn't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. And when I was seeing that New York City skyline and the traffic and the crazy drivers and the sirens.
Then you just can't wait to get back home.
We do have another Eagles fan in the house, so I just want to let you know that.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
I didn't realize I was in Eagles country up here.
Well, obviously you're in Saints country if you look around here.
I am.
It says right there, you're in Saints country.
I'm going to leave you with this. I have a proud dad moment to share with you. My son, my 13-year-old, wanted 2 jerseys. He wanted a Jason Kelsey jersey from the Philadelphia Eagles and a Bryce Harper jersey from the Phillies. That is fantastic.
Not too bad guys to look up to.
No.
On that note, I'm proud of Philly, and I can't tell you how much it warms my heart that your son is also a Philly fan.
Got to raise them right. Thank you so much, Prof. T. And we're going to be back with our next guest in just a moment.
Sit your ass down.
And we're back with somebody who, when I brought you in, I was excited to talk to you, but I realized that I was even more excited to talk to you about your drive, your personality. And we're sitting here, of course, with the Mike Turner, the Hoboken Mike T, season 42, finalist of Survivor.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And it's when he came in, it was like, wow, we're getting a guy from Survivor, and he's just Mike T.
He's just Mike Turner. That's all he is.
He's a good guy.
But you were just down in Florida doing some stuff for the end of season 43.
Yes, there's a whole place down there for kids that suffer serious illnesses called Hearts of Reality. They run this program. It's Give the Kids a Village, and they bring kids in and families that can't afford to go to Disney. They let them stay at the village, and they give them, it's part of like a Make-A-Wish Foundation, where they go there and they get their wish. And I went down there this weekend with 150 reality stars and hung out with the kids.
So that's the name, Hearts of Reality, because it's all reality stars there?
Yes.
Oh, cool. That's going to be nice.
And then Give the Kids a Village, we're all the family. I think they take in 185 families a week.
Wow.
People that can't afford to go, the kids are sick. It just helps them forget about all their worries. The families don't have to think about money. They don't have to think about doctor's appointments. And the kids especially, they just go there and there's kids. And we got the opportunity to go down and we raised over $500,000.
God, that's great.
So it was an honor to be there. And I met a lot of great people then, and people just want to help.
You know what the great thing is your notoriety from Survivor. You could have taken that one of two ways. You could have taken it for personal gain, or you could have used your name for exactly what you're doing now. I love that, man. I think that's awesome.
The crazy thing is, let's be honest, I'm on the back 9 of my life.
Aren't we all?
Right. All of a sudden, this crazy thing, I'm retired for 10 years from the fire department, this crazy thing, Survivor, comes along, and it gives me the opportunity, again, to follow some of my passions and to have a platform for things that I care deeply about. The Hoboken Homeless Shelter, the Hoboken Food Pantry that's run by the community center. These things mean a lot to me because I'm a Hoboken kid. I was born and raised in the projects. Quite frankly, we didn't have a lot, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are in need, and it gave me the opportunity to at least, in my own little way, help them.
Me and Kevin talk about it all the time. After a year, after a career in civil service, you're used to go out and helping people all the time. Once your career's over, you almost feel like there's no way of really helping people anymore. With me and Kevin, this podcast,
now.
We're helping people, and what you're doing now is helping people. That's all part of your civil service background.
Exactly. What you just said it. I feel like I've been reborn. It's almost like a second life that I'm having. And how many times do you get a chance to have that? I had a great life. I had a great career. I'm very fortunate. I'm very humble to where I've come. Then this crazy thing happens with Survivor, which has given me the opportunity to be reborn, to have a second life after where, quite frankly, it's things. Here's the thing. Sometimes you want to help, and if you're just there, you don't know how. This gave me an opportunity where people saw me, and it helped me figure out how I can help and do the things like I wanted to do to tell people that, quite frankly, lots of times we're all one paycheck away from it.
Yeah,
and you got that right.
Absolutely.
I think about that. That's really it. We're one paycheck away from being from where they are, and to be able to have the opportunity to go out there and give them even just a warm meal that night is amazing.
Well, more importantly than that,
yes,
your notoriety from CBS got you on the Suffering podcast.
See that?
No, we were introduced to our mutual friend Mike DePalma,
yes.
Hurricane Mike himself.
Hurricane Mike.
Listen, he may be let's say not mutual friend, mutual acquaintance.
Hey, Mike's like family. You know it. Listen, we got to admit it. You know it. Mike is like our brother.
Yeah, try doing 20 weeks in the academy with him. Tell me what you think about it.
Mike DePalma approaches you and says, "Hey, look, I got buddies that do this show. What's your first thought? Be honest. What's your first thought?"
So Mike called, and to be quite frank, I get a lot of requests.
I know you do.
A lot of people, I get a lot of messages, but obviously Mike has a front row because he's a friend of mine. So he mentioned it. I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta at least check this out. It's for Mike, and quite frankly, I didn't know what to expect. I heard the Suffering podcast. I didn't understand what it meant. So what I did do is, like I should do, is I did some research. I listened to your podcast. I messaged you guys a couple of times, and I said, you know what, this is something I can at least talk about because it discusses where we come in our life. Whether it was civil service, to being in the projects, we all suffer in some way. Everybody's weight is their weight.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so their suffering is their suffering, and it gave me an opportunity to come and talk to you. And quite frankly, I was even more surprised when I got to meet you guys personally. You know, you guys are regular guys. It wasn't like this, you know, dog and pony show. You guys came in, you were regular guys, you accepted me, you talked. And within the first 5 minutes of the podcast, I'm laughing. I'm feeling like you guys are my best friends. And quite frankly, you could be. You could be.
We did laugh, and I just watched that whole episode like this week.
Yeah, so
that was a lot of fun. We laughed a lot.
The week of this recording here, your episode is airing. It's crushing it, by the way. And as a matter of fact, one of your Instagram posts with you in it, you've coined the phrase that will forever be on the tip of my tongue, and that's aquadome.
Nothing like an aquadome.
You just can't do it in a friend's pool.
You can't do it in a friend's pool, but it's free.
Well, didn't somebody do it in Caddyshack?
Yeah,
very true.
So that was the first aquadome.
That was the original aquadome. That's where it came from.
That's the aquadome pioneer right there.
Yes.
But Mike, I can't appreciate your friendship, your openness to us. You're willing to help us out. I mean, it means the world to us because one of our own made it. You know, one of our New Jersey first responders made it. And that's how I see it.
I appreciate it. And listen, guys, make no mistake. I'm humbled by all of this. This, quite frankly, surprises the shit out of me as much as everybody else.
It's like newfound notoriety. You know, it's like, you know, one day you're a battalion chief in a fire department. Next thing you're on national TV every day. And
talking
people
to Jeff Probst.
One day I'm trying to cut line at the mozzarella store in Hoboken. The next day, people let me walk into the front. Like, come on in, Mike.
They're buying your mozzarella.
Like, this ain't so bad.
Well, isn't that how they roll in Hudson County anyway?
That's how we roll.
I'll pay you for one, but I'm taking 5 out the back.
Can I get it on the arm? You know what I mean?
Now, do you get to cut in line at MMP Biancamanos?
Damn right. I walk right in, he goes, hey, boss, come on in. Come up to the front.
I got to come with you one day.
Yes.
We got great sandwiches down there.
Great sandwiches.
Hoboken family has been very good to us. Mike, you've been very good to us. I can't appreciate
I feel like we're almost honorary Hoboken people now.
We just got our honorary LGBTQ cards. So I think I want the honorary Hoboken.
I want honorary Hoboken.
Listen, and I mean this. I don't say this to everybody, but you guys absolutely keep me Hoboken too. And I mean that. I mean that with love, man. Because there's not a lot of guys who can say, dude, you're definitely going to be a Hoboken dude. You guys definitely could be, and I mean that.
Listen, I take that as a badge of honor.
It is a badge of honor. I mean that with total respect.
So it's funny you say that. I had my kids in Hoboken. We were going into the city, and we parked in Hoboken. And I'm walking through Hoboken, and I felt as comfortable as I've ever felt in Hoboken. I'm like, well, you know, I could go see Butchie Sanchez, or I could go see Benny Love, or I could go see Mike Turner or Stewie. You know, you guys are like the mayors.
Nicky Burke, Mike DePalma.
Yeah. Listen, all Hoboken legends in their own mind. But there's no legends.
Thank you so much, Mike. We're going to be back with our next guest in just a moment.